Since 1975, Palmline Shoreline Drive has stood witness to the finest collection of open-wheeled competitors ever to grace a temporary circuit in North America. 4 decades of skill and daring-do have proclaimed the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach as the classic when it comes to racing through city streets. Names such as Andretti, Unser, and Sullivan still echo with the ring of victory each time the Champ Cars charge through the 11 turns that make up this renowned circuit. Today, drivers of a different generation are staking their claims to become a part of that tradition. This is Sébastien Bourdais. He triumphed here in 2005, igniting a season in which he laid claim to his 2nd consecutive Champ Car World Series title. This is Paul Tracy. He stormed to the checkers here 4 times in the past 13 years. He reluctantly surrendered his series champion's title to Bourdais back in 2004. And this is the great Jimmy Vasser, champion of both this Grand Prix and the series in 1996. But these men have more to fear than each other. This young lioness is the first and to date only woman to ever win a major open-wheeled event in North America. Her name, Catherine Legge, and along with the field of the finest open-wheel competitors on the continent, she intends to challenge the old guard every step of the way. It is a new season, and everyone is a favorite.
Concentrate on your mark.
Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. The sights, the sounds, the excitement of a 185-mile-an-hour festival of speed. It's the official spring break of Southern California. Round 1 of the 2006 Champ Car World Series, the 32nd annual Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Back in 1904, George Heath, at an average speed of 52.2 miles an hour, first claimed this prize, the Vanderbilt Cup. Well, the driver who wins this trophy this season will average nearly 4 times that number over the course of the entire year. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Great to be with you as we begin the Champ Car World Series in 2006 here on the streets of Long Beach. As you might imagine, a lot of stories have already begun to develop this season. My broadcast partner is Derek Daly, who back in 1984 was on the front row here alongside a guy named Mario Andretti. In fact, Derek became the poster child for the 1985 running of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Derek, how did it all turn out for you back then?
Well, Rick, I finished just a little bit behind Mario that day. But on this day, I'll tell you, Southern California has never looked as good. Now, the fierce rivalry that we've seen between Sébastien Bourdais and Paul Tracy has been well documented. They just don't like each other. They drive for 2 of the star teams in the business, Forsyth and Newman Haas. I will tell you, there is a 3rd star team about to emerge as these boys here, Sport from just outside Denver, Colorado. One of the drivers is an American, A.J. Allmendinger, named after the legendary A.J. Foyt. He is young, he's brash, he's brave, he's very talented. His teammate is a Brit, Justin Wilson, in the CDW car. He's on the front row. To give you an idea of the mindset of these people, after qualifying, team president Jeremy Dale said, "I think the boys are disappointed at their qualifying effort. This is a dedicated team, and if Tracy and Bourdais fight among themselves, these boys are going to fight all the way for the championship and maybe take it away."
Cars are on the racetrack here on the streets of Long Beach, preparing for the start of the season opener as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. 18 cars and drivers ready to begin the 2006 season in front of a huge crowd. A 3-day festival of speed. Sébastien Bourdais and the McDonald's car number 1, already the winner of the Bridgestone Pole Award, his 19th career pole. As he begins his 4th season in Champ Car, he is the 2-time defending series champion. And Bridgestone Pole Award worth $5,000 to Sébastien and the McDonald's team. And Bourdais will start from the pole here in car number 1. There he is, the driver who won this race 1 year ago. Right behind him, the driver who will line up alongside one of those Sport cars, the CDW9 of Justin Wilson. Bourdais' teammate, Bruno Junqueira, back after an injury at the Indy 500 a year ago. He'll start 3rd. There's your opening row. Bourdais in the McDonald's car, Wilson in the CDW9. In row number 2, Junqueira in the Newman Haas 2 car, and A.J. Allmendinger in the Sport car number 10. Row number 3 here this afternoon, the Forsyth Index teammates Mario Dominguez and Paul Tracy. And Tracy had an incident-filled weekend, especially in final qualifying on Saturday. Row number 4, Alex Tagliani back with Derek Walker's Aussie Vineyards team, and Oriol Serbia in the Gulfstream Bell Micro 6 for PKV Racing, his first start for that team. 5th row, rookie Will Power for Aussie Vineyards and Team Australia, and Cristiano Tabata in the Sonny's Barbecue car. The 6th row, Antonio Pizzonia in the Rotax Motorsports car. For Rocket Sports Racing, Jimmy Vasser in the 12. 7th row, rookie Dan Clark in the CTE Racing HVM car, and Jan Halen in the other Sonny's Barbecue Dale Coyne machine. The 8th row is Nelson Philippe in the CTE Racing HVM 4. The MyJack tie 27 for Andrew Ranger, youngster out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Final row, Catherine Legg in the PKV machine. And Charles Wolsman out of the Netherlands, another rookie contender in car number 34. Another member of our broadcast team joining us this season, Michelle Beisner. She'll be checking out other elements of the 3-day Festival of Speed here in Long Beach. Hi, Michelle.
Hey Rick, thanks so much, and let me just say how pleased I am to be part of this very fine announcing team. Now, over the last 4 days, we took you behind the scenes at all the non-race related things that go on here in Long Beach. We've got concerts, we've got go-karts, the list goes on, and we're gonna highlight all of the wonderful things that we did here in Long Beach, so stay with us.
Michelle will be looking forward to hearing from you throughout the course of the afternoon here. Field starting to gather up and be ready for the green flag. On pit road for us again this season, Jan Beekes.
Well, I'll tell you, when you talk about this Rousport versus Newman Haas battle, just think about Sebastian Bourdais. Yesterday, he pulled something off that may set the tone for the entire season. It was second round qualifying. He put on a new set of Bridgestones, went out, only did 6 laps, parked on pit road, basically challenging anyone else. Go out there and try and beat it if you can. No one could. Everyone else burned up their tires. He now has 2 championship points and an additional set of tires to use for today's race. Now, his arch nemesis, Paul Tracy, not so fortunate. With that story, the newest member of our broadcast team, Cameron Steele.
Well, thank you, Jan. I talked to Paul Tracy just before the race, and he said those 3 incidents aren't bothering him. In fact, the last incident, lots of damage to the car. Hitting the wall a couple times, definitely something to think about, but not if you're Paul Tracy. You just come back swinging. He said that's exactly what he's going to do. He is one of only 2 drivers not starting on the Bridgestone Reds, which are a little bit softer, a little more grippy, a little more speedy. That is not a problem for him. He says he's ready to go for the win, and he's planning to stay out as long as possible and conserve fuel on the way to do that.
Well, PT has to come from the 3rd row, Derek Daly, as we prepare for the start here in the streets of Long Beach.
2nd row. Coming to you, pace cars in.
And the key for Wilson will be this start, because Bourdais, even in the warm-up this morning, proved he just has about 2/10 of the rest of the field. Here we go.
Bourdais gets the drop on Justin Wilson as they come screaming over the start-finish line. They're 6 deep heading toward turn 1. It's Bourdais and Wilson. Allmendinger on the outside. Oh, and Forsyth's Index car gets turned around. Couple of cars in the tires. That's Junqueira and Mario Dominguez in the wall.
That is Paul Tracy, I believe, just buried in the tire wall in the blue and white car. Wilson gets away with it. He and Bourdais were in quite a scramble on the way down. There is Paul Tracy buried.
And the Gulfstream car of Oriol Servia, his first start for PKV Racing. He has slid to a stop. That's Bruno Junqueira up in front. Let's have another look at what happened. PT and Dominguez, the 2 blue and white cars.
And Paul Tracy right here just is much too aggressive. Look at, he's almost up on top of Servia's car.
AJ Allmendinger in the wall, too.
On the top. There is Paul's mom, Viv, on the left, his wife, Patty, on the right, watching the replay.
Here it is again, from over top.
Tracy is the blue car on the inside, oh, he got tapped by Dominguez. That's what it was.
PT and Dominguez lined up alongside each other in the 3rd row. Tracy cut to the inside, Derek, going into turn 1. Full course yellow, pits are closed, and there is Paul Tracy, the former series champion. The long walk back to pit road. The Forsyth Index 3 car stuffed into the tire barrier. His first start of the season lasts only 1 corner. And I believe that's Oriol Servia, Catalunya, Spain, and his first start for the PKV team. Here we go again.
Tracy is the lead blue car right side. Now, just as he turns in, here's Allmendinger down here. He's nice and safe. Oh, Tracy gets hit by Dominguez right there. Begins to get sideways. Now, watch what happens as it unfolds here. Tracy gets sideways in the middle of the pack. Let's slow it down. Let's stop the video right about here. Look at this. Servia almost turns Tracy's car upside down. Servia was an innocent bystander, as was A.J. Allmendinger.
Allmendinger taking the gloves off, hoping to get to victory lane. He's run a couple of Champ Car seasons without being able to do that, with high expectations coming in, and his first start of the year over. before we get halfway around the racetrack. Full course caution. We'll take a quick timeout and be right back on the streets of Long Beach. Our coverage of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach is brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, and by Bridgestone Tires, passion for excellence. Back live on the streets of Long Beach as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. A wild incident, turn one, first lap of the season. They widened turn one. Derek, did some drivers get more brave than they should have been with that reconfigured corner?
I don't think you could blame the corner being wider. There's Oriol Servia, walks back here.
As we watch the field funnel down, pit road is open. Some drivers may be able to take advantage. Let's go and hook up again with Michelle Beisner and find out what's going on.
All right, race fans, it is day one of the Festival of Speed, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. And if you're anyone, you're down at Pine Avenue checking out the scene. And if you're a car lover, well, you're in heaven. Now listen when I tell you, you do not have to be a race car fanatic to enjoy all the festivities down here on Pine Avenue. There is plenty to see, plenty to do, and plenty to enjoy for you and your family. And as day one of fun closes here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, we're in the midst of checking out the freestyle motocross show, and we're about to just take this party to another level. We're gonna go check out all the excitement at one of the many restaurants and bars on Pine Avenue.
Plenty to do here, as always, at Long Beach. Thank you, Michelle. All right, Bruno Junqueira on pit road. Jan.
Well, you talk about plenty to do. There's plenty to do here for Bruno Junqueira. This is not what the Newman Haas crew was hoping for the first pit stop of the year. Obviously, they're trying to fix the damage to the side pod. This is a case to where you're trying to get the part to the point to where you could just complete the race, try and get some points in case there was some other type of incident like this. There's no way they're going to get this car back into ship shape to give him the kind of... When you mention rear wing, that's because they are finishing their 1:45 and counting down here, and they have finished putting a new rear wing on the car, but they got a lot of work on the side pod, Derek.
Wow, 322 days since Bruno last raced. Then he had that enormous crash in Indianapolis. Have a look at this. This is his X-ray. They are two 11-inch rods and 10 screws that are currently inserted in the vertebrae in his back. He elected not to have them removed because the recovery would have been far too long. He wants to get back in a racing car. Just look at the length of those screws to screw Junqueira back together to put him in this racing car today.
Derek, you've been through some major wrecks in the course of your illustrious driving career. Into the soft walls, he looks fine. No threat of additional injury in that kind of an incident.
I don't believe so. And if you ask Bruno, are you afraid of re-injury? He is so focused to get back in a racing car that would be all he would think about. Remember, the last time he was in a racing car, he won in Monterrey, Mexico.
And Derek, it's not going to happen today. We just had the international sign from one of the crew members at the back of the car. There is something terminal, something that they cannot tape up. In fact, it's an oil leak, not something you could do here on pit road. So even if they would have been able to tape this thing back just to go around slowly, Bruno Junqueira's day is done already.
Damage to the tub, it would appear. Certainly the under tray heavily damaged. They were trying hard in the Newman Haas pit area, engineer Tom Smith and the boys, to fix that two-car. One more look at what happened. This is off the drop of the green down into one, Derek Daly.
And we know what happens, Tracy and Dominguez. Watch Dominguez right here. Look, he breaks, boom, drop kicks his teammate. Watch Allmendinger. Allmendinger gets collected right there. Allmendinger was minding his own business also.
I'll tell you who really got away cleanly, amazingly, Alex Tagliani in the Aussie Vineyards car in the back end, and he was almost caught up in that same skirmish. Tag able to jump on the brakes, maneuver through the traffic and the debris, and avoid further incident. Under caution, looking to see if we'll get a restart this time by. We put 3 laps on the board of 76, working on the 4th lap. That is Sebastian Bourdais in the McDonald's car number 1, the 2-time defending Champ Car World Series champion.
Well, one of Bruno's biggest fans is Tim Coffin's mom, Rosemary. He almost lost Rosemary last Monday because of a reaction to cataract surgery. Heart stopped. They rushed her to a firehouse, believe it or not. Managed to save her. So Tim Coffin, one of the mechanics, lead mechanics on Bruno Junqueira's car. She is watching us from Sun City. Rosemary, I'm glad you're okay.
On board with Catherine Legg in the 20 car, the Optium machine, with the driver making her first start. She's moved to 13th with the attrition as we get ready to go.
Now this is a long straight here out of a hairpin, so everybody gets a good run as soon as they pick first, second, third gear. It's at the end of the straight that they begin to close up. Tag, look at Tag.
In that green and yellow Aussie Vineyards car, Alex Tagliani with one career Champ Car win. He is third behind the CDW machine of Justin Wilson. Race leader and pole sitter Sebastian Bourdais. Fourth is Mario Dominguez in that blue and white Forsyth Index car, Derek. He was caught up in the incident. He escaped major damage. He seems to be at speed.
Yeah, Dominguez, I'm sure, will have a question to ask. You know, how did it happen? I mean, you can't blame a driver for something like that happened on that first lap. But look at Bourdais already. The Frenchman drives for actor Paul Newman, who has been here every day. Bourdais already beginning to just put a bit of daylight between himself and Justin Wilson. And Wilson this morning tried something in the warm-up and they were lost. So the car setup has gone back to what he qualified with.
Now Wilson comes off a strong run to close last year at Mexico City. In fact, he and Allmendinger ran 1-2. High hopes in this camp. Let's check in with Jan Beekes.
And Bruno Junqueira has made it back to the timing staff. Bruno, what did you see, or obviously what did you feel in that first corner?
I just felt someone hit me from the back. We just went turn one, Sebastian first, Wilson second, I was third, AJ outside, and someone just hit me in my back. So I end up crashing with AJ, and I think I was Trace, I don't know.
And you were very excited. You love this racetrack. It's a homecoming for you. You've been so relaxed. What are your thoughts on the way the cars have been performing, and obviously you can bounce back?
I mean, all the Newman's car has been perfect this week, and I was first race back, and I knew that I could do really well, and I thought I had a chance to finish top 3 or even win the race, and it's very frustrating to end the race in turn 1. But when you have Trace on the track, that's everything can happen.
But you did take the green, and there was some thought at one time after your injury you might not. So congratulations getting back in the seat and doing so well.
Okay, thank you.
Bruno Junqueira disappointed certainly to be out so soon in his return. Mario Dominguez sitting in 4th position now in the Forsyth Index number 7. Trying to close in, there's Alex Tagliani and Will Power, the rookie, who made a start last year at the end of the season, ran in Mexico City. He's 5th right now. To Cameron Steele.
Well, Paul, looked like he had a good jump to the inside there. What happened from your viewpoint, or what did you feel?
I haven't seen all the replays yet. I saw one replay on the Diamond Vision. It looked like my teammate Mario ran into the back of me down in the braking zone, and it lifted the back wheels of my car off the ground and basically just threw my car in the air. So, you know, definitely not the way to start the season. We all had high hopes of, you know, starting off well, but you know, we had 3 or 4 championship contenders taken out in the first corner, so definitely not the way to start.
Thank you, Paul. Tough break today.
Thanks.
Paul Tracy races out of Las Vegas, Nevada now. Let's have one more look at what happened as we watch Justin Wilson run second. Start of the race, start of the brand new season. Champ Car returns to Long Beach, carnage in turn 1.
And Tracy said he has to finish more races. Here it is right here. Dominguez just drop kicks him. Now he wraps up Bruno Junqueira right there. Bruno then wraps up AJ Allmendinger, and Servia minding his own business when he gets mugged on the streets. And he's done. Look at Allmendinger up here. Look at this.
Several contenders take it out, as Tracy alluded, in turn number 1. Working the 8th lap of 76 here in the streets of Long Beach. Bourdais a 109.8 as he builds the lead. The 2 Walker cars at the moment running 3rd and 5th.
And Bourdais has set fastest lap of the race. It is only 1/10 of a second faster than Wilson. Jan?
With Oriol Servia, and Derek had just said it looked at him as though you were mugged in the first turn. You see anything coming?
Not at all. I just felt it. I felt Paul landing on my left front suspension and got completely ripped. I'm sure he got hit. The way he landed, it's, you know, I'm sure something happened back there. It's always the same, you know, it's not any problem of the shape of the first corner. The problem is it's the first corner of the season, and everybody wants to win the first race in the first corner, and you know, it's just the nature of the game. Things happen, and unfortunately today we're the victims. Shame, because we felt really strong. Gulfstream car was very quick this morning, and we thought we had a real shot for the podium, so it's a shame. Next one, Houston will be our good luck one.
We'll see you there.
Thank you.
Watching the battle develop for 3rd. Tagliani in that green and yellow Aussie Vineyards machine. Right behind him is Mario Dominguez in the Index Forsyth car. And I think Serbia points out a great thing, Derek, for those who haven't been following Champ Cars closely over the offseason. Serbia replaced former champion Cristiano Damata in the PKV car, and Serbia, certainly second in the championship a year ago, could be a title contender. Back downstairs, Cameron Steele.
A.J. Allmendinger, the top qualifying American. It looked like you were an innocent bystander there. What happened in the collection?
I don't know. I mean, I went down in the corner and turned in. I had gotten a great start and turned down, and I got hit. And I think I've seen a piece of the replay, so I got to apologize to Bruno because I was mad as I got out of the car and pointed at him. But I don't think it had anything to do with him. He got drilled, so I apologize to Bruno for that. But other than that, you know, Rousport all weekend, great car, and you know, it's just one of these Turn 1 things at Long Beach. You know, have the Red Bull wings on the car, but I didn't really want it to fly like that.
The intensity is testament. You getting out of the car, a little bit angry. I mean, Long Beach, such a big stage to set, and then to have that go wrong, just unbelievable situation.
It's the beginning of the season. You want to get the season off right, and my team did a great job. They did everything right for me, and I felt like, you know, I did everything that I could. So, you know, unfortunately, we got taken out, and we didn't get to show the speed that the car had. So Red Bull and CDW and Rousport will all be back in Houston and have to go win the thing now.
We'll see if you can do it in Houston.
All right, young A.J. Allmendinger, one of the bright American hopes in this sport, hoping to reload, go to the streets of Houston in the month of May and have some success there. Watching the battle, Tagliani in the 15 car, the 7, the Index car, Mario Dominguez. Part of the Festival of Speed here in Long Beach. Kids enjoying video games. Back in a moment with more of the Champ Car World Series Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Now Al Trotwig with an ADT Security NBC Sports update.
ADT.
Oh. I was thinking Forsyth champions. Welcome back to the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, the streets of Long Beach on NBC Sports. Full course caution for the second time today. Almost the same place, but a one-car incident. This is the young Englishman, Dan Clark, in the Cedric the Entertainer HVM racing car, the Bird and Bear Entertainment entry today. Lost the rear wing, Derek, when he got into the tires.
Better known as Speedy Dan. He is only 21. Fired it up. Okay, maybe he can just stick a rear wing on this thing.
They bump started him.
Yeah, they're easy enough to bolt on the back. Dan Clark, big learning curve, has done a total of 2 days testing, believe it or not. And if he needs to take this nice and easy, getting back here without this rear wing. Pity to see that.
Just take it easy because you have no rear wing.
Okay, he and Nelson Philippe, our teammates, suffered understeer most of the practice sessions, was not happy after qualifying.
He's trying to coax it down the backstretch at some measure of speed.
Wow.
To save some time under the full course yellow, get a wing put back on that car.
And not lose a lap. That's the key here. So if he can, this is a good effort here with no wing.
Absolutely. He's being scored a lap down at the moment, but he doesn't want to go any further down. Still early. 13 laps of 76 are complete, and pit road is closed now, so he may have to go around again.
Oh no. Okay.
Now they've just opened. So he will be able to stop.
Now the key is he is less than half a lap ahead of the field here. So will they look at it? Will they elect to send him around again? Or will they elect to fix it and take the consequences of potentially going down a lap here? When you go down a lap on a street circuit, it really, really is hard to make that back. Cameron?
Well, right now they're working on putting the wing on there, trying to find out what's really wrong with the vehicle, but Dan was fighting a migraine this morning and spent 3 hours being treated by the Champ Car medical crew, so he's been having a tough morning as it is, and now it's gotten even tougher.
Just work on the rear wing.
Put that wing on.
Actually, believe it or not,
That's the rear corner.
he's had a headache most days because he finds the cars very stiff, very bumpy, and that has caused him to have migraines almost every day. Bourdais is in.
And so is Justin Wilson. He goes by, but we watch Bourdais in the meantime. First pit stop of the year for Newman Haas, and they get it done. Wow, that was fast. And he did hardly any, and he passed. And he's clearly ahead of Justin Wilson. Just over 8 seconds for Sebastian Bourdais. Nice and clean.
Fuel only for Bourdais. There is Charles Swolsman of the MyJack 34, one of the rookie contenders. Strong Atlantic Series driver. Champ Car Atlantic Championship 1 year ago. Swolsman up to 12th now.
Notice down here, Speed Racer. They just announced this weekend they have an agreement now to get into a marketing arrangement with Speed Racer. Is on both of their cars, Ranger's car and Swolsman's.
And we're now being told that Bourdais did take tires. I had seen just the fuel rig there, an 8-second stop. So Bourdais' team, the Newman Haas bunch, quickly put 4 tires, 4 Bridgestone Reds on that machine, and topping it off with fuel. So with all the caution laps we've had so far, they feel that the fuel window is open for this first round of stops under our second caution of the afternoon.
Oh, look what happened here. Dominguez dropped a position. So the 2 Team Aussie Vineyards cars are now one behind the other. Tag and Will Power. They took the advantage over Mario Dominguez in that one stop.
Restart coming up next time by. And now as we check the restart running order, Bourdais, Wilson, and Vassar will be your top 3. Coming up, your chance to enter the Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes presented by Bridgestone. Win a trip to the upcoming Grand Prix of Houston, plus a set of Bridgestone Potenza pole position tires, or a subscription to Auto Week magazine. One grand prize winner gets a new Ford Mustang GT and will join us in Mexico City in November for the season finale as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. Stay tuned later in our broadcast for this week's code word. The Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes is presented by Bridgestone. As we regroup for a restart on the streets of Long Beach. Zonia there in the Rocket Sports Rotax number 8, that blue and yellow car, former Formula 1 driver from Brazil. Green and going on lap 15.
Wow, look at the restart. Bourdais pulls over Justin Wilson. Wow, you cannot let Bourdais get away that quickly on a restart. Tag now closes in behind Wilson. There is no way that Will Power will attack Tagliani. He knows he's here to learn. Tagliani is a very technical driver who has taken Will Power under his wing, supporting him as much as he can. But on board now with Wilson.
CDW number 9, one of the 2 Roost Sport entries. Wilson with 2 victories a year ago at Toronto and Mexico City. High hopes here. They've made some engineering changes to try to get better on these temporary street courses. They attracted an engineer from the Newman Haas team to Roost Sport to try to help them pick up their game. They felt as though this is where they were lacking, perhaps, in their bid to become a championship effort. But so far, the Newman Haas boys for Sebastian Bourdais, they certainly have this one figured out. Now, here are the 2 Derek Walker cars, the Aussie Vineyards machines, the 15 of Alex Tagliani running 3rd, and the 5 of rookie Will Power. Very impressive, right behind his mentor there as they hit the hairpin.
Wow, Will Power spent a lot of time in Europe, won 2 of the Formula Renault World Series races. They are a very competitive racing series, that is, in Europe. So he comes here with good credentials. But this is a strong run for Will Power. This is a big learning curve and a strong run for him.
Now, wouldn't you think Power would be taking it easier here in the first stage of this race? Obviously, no team orders.
I'm not sure he's going to push it to try and force his way past Tagliani here. Boy, it will be a disaster. Craig Gore, one of the team owners, flew in here from London, lives in Australia, leaves from here, goes back to Australia. One of the most traveled men in the Champ Car paddock here, supporting these yellow and green cars. Also running the Atlantic Championship and Formula BMW. They're everywhere.
Full effort, certainly, indeed. 5th right now to Mario Dominguez in the Forsyth Index machine. But for Derek Walker, a great day so far, Cameron.
Definitely, Derek Walker, great pit stops. Are you guys working your strategy right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody is right now trying to stretch that fuel. Fortunately, we had some good pit stops there, so we got out right in the right position.
Would Will Power make an effort to pass Tagliani or no? What are the team orders?
I think if Alex's pace drops off, then obviously we will, but right now it doesn't make a lot of sense. We'll just ride along together, hopefully.
Thanks, Derek.
Racing Team Australia, the Aussie Vineyards bunch running in 3rd and 4th for Tagliani and Power, trying to get close to Justin Wilson and start a fight for 2nd.
Right, I'd pay more attention to Dominguez behind Will Power, because Dominguez on the race setup this morning in the last practice session was the fastest car on the racetrack. He was the top of the timesheet, so we know in full tanks, heavy fuel on Dominguez, Mario Dominguez right there in the blue and white Index car. He has been strong all day.
Great battle for third, fourth, and fifth. Meantime, what about Catherine Legg? 3 victories last year in the Champ Car Atlantic Championship. AAA baseball, if you will, for this series. Catherine Legg making her first Champ Car start today for the PKV Racing team, the Optium entry. She runs 12th right now. And before we got going here today, Jan Beekes had an opportunity to chat with Catherine as she prepared for her first career Champ Car start. Catherine at speed, learning the race car. They've been working on the weekend, trying to get her up to speed. She was struggling during practice and qualifying, but as we'd seen with her previously, she's able to pull a good race together on Sunday. So, Jan walked with Catherine before the start here today, and she had these comments on the beginning of her first start in Champ Car.
Catherine Legg making the walk from the parade truck to her car for the first time in Champ Car competition. I know Friday and Saturday didn't go as you would have hoped, but what do you think about Sunday?
Yeah, it's another day, and we're all positive. We think we've got a good race car. You know, the whole team have been fantastic. They've been ace. PKV Racing, can't fault them at all. They've been 100% behind me. You know, we didn't have a good day yesterday, but it's like getting back on a horse, right? We'll get back in the seat, and we're going to have a great race, I hope.
What is your goal for today?
To finish the race, first and foremost, we have to finish. You know, people keep reminding me to finish first. First, you have to finish, and I am a rookie, so you know, I want to be in the top 10. I want to be on the lead lap. I want to be top finishing rookie. But you know what? For right now, if I finish the race, we'll all be happy.
Any thoughts of last year where you didn't have such a good Friday and Saturday, and then you ended up with that just all-important victory here last year? Does that enter your mind?
Yeah, that happened a lot last year. You know, we'd race well and we'd qualify badly, so maybe qualifying something we should be looking at working on. You know, we did have issues yesterday, but it doesn't really enter your mind. Today's a different day, and believe you me, it's a bit of a different car.
Have a great run.
Thank you.
You can see Catherine,
she's got a good run going.
Fighting with the wheel there. Now, there is probably no more difficult a race to make a debut in Champ Car than right here in Long Beach. Street racing is physically and mentally the toughest test for a race car driver, and the physical test will be interesting for Catherine as these laps roll on.
Well, Bourdais is the leader over Wilson, Tagliani, and Power. Jimmy Vasser runs 6th.
What's crazy?
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. On NBC next Sunday, Season 2 of NBC's National Heads-Up Poker Championship. Johnny Chan, Daniel Negreanu, and defending champ Phil Hellmuth all among the stars at this year's event. Next Sunday, it begins at noon Eastern, 3 Pacific on NBC. Log on to NBCHeadsUp.com. Check your local listings for the time in your area. Working lap number 23 of 76. Almost a third home as we watch the car of Justin Wilson, the CDW number 9. The Rue Sport team, 1 entry left. AJ Allmendinger in their 10 car taken out in that turn 1, lap 1 pileup. Wilson trying valiantly to get close to Bourdais, see if he can make a race out of this. But Bourdais has a 5.8 second lead as we are 23 laps in. And these drivers have made their first stop for tires and fuel. Running order top of your screen. Several drivers behind the wall already. Bruno Junqueira, AJ Allmendinger, Paul Tracy, former champion, 4-time winner here, and Oriol Serbia, last year's runner-up in the championship, all taken out on lap number 1. It's Bourdais over Wilson and Tagliani as we open up the 2006 Champ Car World Series season. Cameron Benjamin, Derek Daly alongside, Jan Beekes, Cameron Steele on pit road, Michelle Beisner checking out the scene here for us in the streets of Long Beach. Watching the 9 car. Wilson with those 2 victories a year ago, stamping himself as a championship contender. 1 car in trouble in turn number 1. Looks like Dan Clark for the 2nd time today is in trouble down at the end of the front straightaway. Now Clark lost a rear wing earlier. They repaired the car. Let's see what happened to him here.
Oh, realized he wasn't going to make it. A lot of marbles, which is rolled up rubber on the outside. So the safest thing is not to try and attempt what he did earlier on and scramble around the outside line of the corner, go straight on, do a half donut, and get back in.
Well, Derek, we've watched Sebastian Bourdais establish his dominance in the Champ Car World Series these last couple of years. 2-time champion now. Won this race a year ago. He's got a 5.5 second lead. He's batting more than .333 in his career. 16 wins and 45 starts. The 2 championships. He loves to run at the front of the pack. When there's no pressure on him, he's unflappable.
I mean, he really, really is. He is a very special talent. There's still an element of resentment within him that he never got a chance to do Formula One. The French Renault Formula One team is so dominant right now. There's just that little personal niggle within him that he wishes someday somebody would have said, why don't you come and have a run in our F1 car just to see how good you really are. But he is very special. He's technically very good too, because he's able to guide this team in the right direction so as they can technically build a faster racing car. But as you see Justin Wilson run second here, what Rue Sports now have to do is to make sure that they are able to make their car faster, because Justin Wilson can probably drive as well as Bourdais, but the car just is not fast enough right now. To give you an idea of the speed difference, Bourdais' fastest lap is a full half a second faster than Justin Wilson's fastest. Bourdais did a 1 minute 8.9. Wilson 1 minute 9.4.
Meantime, Jimmy Vasser in trouble on the racetrack. Perhaps his final start here on the streets of Long Beach. The 96 Champ Car World Series champ in the Bell Micro 12 car. Looks as though he is out of power. That's at the fountain. That's heading toward turn 2. So Vasser with a problem and a full course caution for the third time this afternoon. Jimmy Vasser, great driver, now at age 40, persuaded to come back by team owner Kevin Kalkoven and run selected races this year. His 211th consecutive Champ Car World Series start. So a full course caution for Vasser as the Bell Micro car rolls to a stop just past turn 1. Jim, one of my favorite guys, certainly a guy that we love to see in competition here. He's won this race before, and a shame it appears his afternoon will come to an early end.
And we just don't know how many more races Jimmy is going to do. He won't tell you he retires.
No.
He'll say, I'll do Long Beach and I'll do some more races. Still holds the record for the fastest ever Champ Car race in Fontana in 02.
All right, Bourdais leads Wilson and Tagliani. 25 laps complete. Back with more of the Champ Car World Series Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach after these messages and a word from our local NBC stations.
So sorry.
On a beautiful day over the streets of Long Beach, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, 32nd running as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. NBC Wednesday, don't miss Heist from the director of Mr. and Mrs. Smith and the Bourne Identity. Catch NBC's new hit, Heist, Wednesday at 9, 8 Central on NBC. With Derek Daly, I'm Rick Benjamin, Jan Beekes, and Cameron Steele on pit road. Michelle Meisner with us as well. Ready to go green. 27 laps up on the board, this time by, and Sebastian Bourdais has led the entire way. And a huge wreck in turn 1 of the new season. 4 key contenders taken out. Bruno Junqueira, AJ Allmendinger, Paul Tracy, Oriol Servia, all behind the wall. Just coming off a full course yellow because Jimmy Vasser, Catherine Lake's teammate, had his car run out of power out on the racetrack. Bourdais is your leader in the McDonald's car number 1, the Newman Haas machine. Second spot belongs to Justin Wilson, the Rue Sports CDW9. That's the red and white car you see back behind Bourdais. Third to the Aussie Vineyards 15, Derek Walker's car. For Alex Tagliani out of Canada. Rookie Will Power, his teammate, the young Australian. Out of nowhere, it seemingly, Derek, to run fourth here.
He's good. He's very good. Derek Walker has 2 really strong contenders. They're going to run all this season long here. Look at Bourdais. He's on the Bridgestone Reds. These Bridgestone Reds are a softer compound, but they don't go off that much. Hence, Bourdais was quite happy to put them on for the second run. Now, Wilson is not on the Reds, nor is Tagliani, nor is Will Power. So I don't know whether there's enough of a difference in the times between the Reds and the regular Bridgestones to give the other guys an advantage later on.
Catherine Legge up to 10th now. She's made a couple of good moves. Now, during the caution, the PKV team brought her to pit road. Out of sequence, she had stopped earlier on lap 15. They decided to fuel the 20 car, rolling the dice. A year ago at Portland, when Cristiano D'Amato drove for PKV Racing, team manager Jim McGee pulled a similar strategy, and it paid off. The team's first ever win, D'Amato, using fuel strategy to get to victory lane. Now, Catherine Legge, despite the extra stop, she's up to 10th, Derek, at her rookie start. Much better than the way she'd run that car so far in the weekend.
That's right. Now, remember, she's full of fuel. So for this strategic move to work, she has to hope that the people ahead of her on lighter fuel don't pull away too far, but when they peel off, in about another 15 or 16 laps, she will cycle towards the front. But I will tell you, from our onboard camera, she is having a bit of a handful. I see her grab opposite lock on a regular basis, trying to hang on to this car on board with Jan Halen, Walsman as we speak. But Catherine Legg is fighting a bit of power oversteer in the PKV car.
The MyJack JLG Speed Racer machine, rookie Charles Walsman up to 11th, trying to track down Catherine Legg. He trails by about 0.7 of a second. A look back off the rear view from the MyJack 34. Mike Lanigan and his group, MyJack Racing, they're the promoters of the upcoming Grand Prix of Houston, the Champ Car World Series Grand Prix of Houston that comes up in the month of May, second weekend of May, around Reliance Stadium, and it's a Saturday night event. We're looking forward to that race, first time ever. Mayo Dominguez, meantime, carrying the Forsyth Index colors, alone at this point because championship contender Paul Tracy was taken out in that lap 1 wreck. 2 victories in his career for Dominguez out of Mexico City, Mexico. In 64 career starts, Dominguez runs in 5th position. Cameron Steele.
And Dominguez has finished 5th the last 3 years, actually. I wanted to ask Neil Mickelwright, the VP of Operations for Forsyth Racing, what happened there at the beginning of the race between your 2 cars?
Well, you know, we haven't had, since the race is still going on, we haven't had an opportunity to fully evaluate what went on. Our initial impressions from the tapes that we've seen, you know, during the race are it appears as though Mario ran into the back of Tracy. Obviously, it's very tight quarters under heavy braking down there, and there was cars spread out all over, so it looks as though there was some contact from behind that spun Tracy around.
Well, definitely one question I got to ask. What were Paul Tracy's words to you? What did he have to say about the incident when you guys got back to private there?
I can't really tell you without getting a fine. I think the FCC have some rules about that, but obviously he was not terribly pleased. Was disappointed, but you know, that's racing, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
Well, definitely a tough weekend also for Mario Dominguez, racing in memory of his grandmother who died on Friday, and we'll definitely stay away from Paul Tracy while he's heated right now. Hope for the best in Houston. Back up to you guys.
Believe it or not, although Mario is Mexican, he is a graduate of the Culver Military Academy in Indiana. Not only that, he actually marched in the inauguration parade for George W. Bush in '89 as a member of the Black Horse Troop. Good on you, Mario. And he's having a very good run.
Very interesting guy. He's having a terrific day. Love to visit with him. Extremely well-spoken. Loves the sport. And if you've never had the opportunity to go to a race in Mexico, either at Monterrey or Mexico City, it is quite a treat. The fans love Dominguez and his countrymen. They're extremely passionate as we watch Mario in the Forsyth Index car number 7. He is 5th right now, just avoiding being taken out in that lap 1 skirmish. Bourdais is your leader. And here's your chance to enter the Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes. Win a trip to that Grand Prix of Houston, plus those Bridgestone Potenza pole position tires or an Auto Week subscription. And a grand prize winner gets a new Ford Mustang GT and will join us in Mexico City for the series finale. This week's code word is Jimmy. For official rules and to enter, log on to champcar.ws. The Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes is presented by Bridgestone. As we are 31 laps of 76 complete, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Antonio Pizzonia runs 6th in front of D'Amata. We'll be right back. As these pictures show you, whatever they say about Southern California at this time of the year, absolutely perfect. Back with the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach on NBC Sports. Michelle Beisner out and about this week. She's been checking out the scene. Hey, Michelle, how was go-karting?
All right, you guys, here we are at the Apex Kart Race track, and as much as I love watching the men and women do their thing on the big track, it is time for me to fulfill my need for speed. Paul Tracy, you better watch out, man. Here we go. Catherine Legg, you got nothing on me. Catherine, I can see why you want to be out there so bad, girl. And you know what? One day, I may be joining you, so you better watch out. But I'm thinking, if I do, I might need some different driving shoes.
Hey, Derek, you never wore shoes like that when you drove, did you?
Forget the shoes. I want to know how she got Eddie Irvine's Jaguar Formula One helmet.
She probably has connections you and I don't have.
I bet she does.
On board with Charles Wolzman. Coming up, the NHL on NBC next Saturday. The chase for the Stanley Cup heating up. Only a little over a week to go in the regular season. Every game crucial. The NHL on NBC. The Rangers in Philadelphia, Minnesota, and Dallas. And the Bruins with Atlanta next Saturday. Check local listings for the game in your area. Wolzman trying to work his way up. He is 12th right now in the MyJack 34. A look back, open racetrack behind. Meantime, here's Dominguez in the Forsyth Index car, putting pressure now on Will Power. We thought Power was going to challenge his teammate Tagliani in the 15, the Aussie Vineyards car, Derek, but looks as though now Power has slipped back. Dominguez applying pressure to the rookie.
Dominguez may be just a touch faster than Will Power, but the difficulty about street circuits, you can see it here. Look at those white concrete walls down each side. You have to be so exact. You have to have such a discipline. You have to have such concentration that Dominguez, having had an incident already, there's no way he's going to try a banzai move down the inside unless he's fairly sure he's going to be able to pull it off over Will Power.
Another guy to watch for as we look at this battle. There is Power. Here comes Dominguez. Immediately behind him,
Pizzonia.
Antonio Pizzonia, the former F1 driver out of Brazil.
Does Dominguez coming down the inside?
Trouble. Here comes Dominguez.
Power blocked him and lost it. Look at this.
Went way wide, as did Tagliani, and Power doesn't hit the tires, has to lock up the brakes, though, and he stalled the race car.
Will Power saw Dominguez going to make a run down the inside. He moved over to block him, put himself on the wrong side for the brake zone, then comes back, completely misses his braking line, and almost hits the Toyota bar.
Threw the anchor out just in time, but didn't he get up on the paint, Derek? Is that why he didn't slow down?
Yeah, well.
Right wheels were up on the rumble strip there. They call them fried eggs there, those circular raised pieces that cities put in city streets. Catherine Legg has spun the Optium 20. She had such a good run going up into the top 10. After starting at the back of the pack, she's got the visor up.
Look at her chest. Look at her chest. Suck in that oxygen. Physically, the most difficult of all types of races is street races right here. So it's a great physical test for Catherine. She spun twice yesterday and didn't hit anything. Here's a replay of it right here. This is Catherine.
Andrew Ranger first. She got sideways and spun it.
That's where Tracy spun yesterday. That is turn 5, coming off turn 5. She's now spun 3 times and not hit anything.
On board here with the 20. We'll see what happens. She went by. That's turn 1. That was where Power was stopped. Here's the fountain.
Yeah, nice and easy. Now, I mentioned earlier, she's fighting oversteer. I've seen this several times from the onboard camera. It'll be, as soon as she puts the power on, watch. Oh, immediately, and she never hit anything.
She clutched it and kept it running. Now it seems to have stalled, though. She's still got the visor up. And this may cost her a lap here. Oh, what a tough break for Catherine Legg, our 4th full course yellow of the day. Evidently, when she tried to get it back into gear and roll away, she was unable to do that. Looks as though she's got heavy damage to a tire there.
Is that a blister?
Looks like a big blister. Perhaps made worse by the skid, the 360 she did.
I'm not sure I have seen a blister on one of these tires in a long, long time. That may be just something she picked up, but if it is a blister, that might begin to explain why she begins to fight this oversteer. Oversteer is when the back wheels lose grip, the car begins to slide from the back, the driver has to steer into the slide to control it, and it just got away from her right there.
Now, is that a function of the fact that when she stopped a while back, we took a look at her pit stop, they didn't put tires on the car. They went fuel only. And that could be a situation where the tires just ran too many laps. All right, well, we've got an opportunity. Let's check in with our friends from Ford Racing. Jimmy Vasser with a look at a new Ford that's headed your way.
Look what I have here. I have the new 2007 Mustang GT California Special, which of course gets its inspiration from the one done in 1968. The 07 GT California Special package comes with a front and rear design fascia, hood scoop, side scoop, cool side stripes. This thing's gonna be in dealerships late this summer, and man, I don't think it's gonna last long.
Our coverage of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach is being brought to you by Mobile Clean 5000. Seriously tough oil. By CDW, the right technology right away. and by the all-new 2006 Ford Fusion. Put your life in drive. Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach with Derek Daly, I'm Rick Benjamin. Sebastian Bourdais laying a whipping on the field here today from the pole. He's led all the way so far as we work toward lap 39. We're past halfway. They saw the crossed flags last time by. Bourdais trying to win 2 in a row here to open the season on the streets of Long Beach. He's led through a couple of pit stop cycles. We've had 4 full course yellows for 11 laps thus far. Bourdais has been the dominant player. His teammate, his wingman, Bruno Junqueira, back in the saddle of the Newman Haas 2 car here this weekend after his injuries in the month of May a year ago, taken out in a turn 1 incident. Let's take you halfway home, show you how we got here. Huge wreck at the start. Paul Tracy, Mario Dominguez got together. A.J. Allmendinger was taken out. Oriol Servia taken out of the PKV car. 4 cars behind the wall. Allmendinger in the Roof Sport number. This is Dan Clark, first of a couple of incidents that he suffered, knocked the rear wing off the 14 car. Speedy Dan, the youngster out of Great Britain, has been in trouble a couple of different times today. Sebastian Bourdais, under caution, made his first stop, was able to beat the Rousport team off a pit road and hold on to the number 1 position here. Jimmy Vasser brought out a full course caution, what could be his final Long Beach start in Champ Cars. The Bell Micro 12 out of power on the racetrack. Jimmy taking the car behind the wall. Shortly after that, Will Power got offline going down into turn 1. He had a great day going up in 4th. The Derek Walker's Aussie Vineyards team had to lock up the brakes, and Catherine Legg, the rookie contender out of England, driving the Optium number 20. She had moved into the top 10 in her first career Champ Car start. Spun the car coming off turn 5, may have blistered a tire. She has had to pit. She's sitting 12th right now, but she's a lap down. She and Will Power both a lap down, running 11th and 12th. As we check back in on the race leader, Sebastian Bourdais, 40 laps complete, 36 to go. Now, Derek Daly, on that last restart, Justin Wilson, you said, got a great start. He was only half a second back, but that didn't last long.
Probably the best start he's had today, but Bourdais is just faster. Wilson is not going to catch Bourdais on sheer speed. He's got to hope for some reliability issues, or he's got to hope that he keeps his own nose clean and bags second place points, that this is going to be a long championship chase. But Bourdais is just so good, particularly when he's at the front, and there is Will Power, hoping he doesn't go down a lap.
He's already down 1. He can't afford to go down a second lap as Bourdais puts lap 41 up on the board, and Bourdais isn't wasting any time. He wants to get by Power and keep on charging. Now, Bourdais still on the red tires. And the pit stop sequence, he's got to run the blacks for a segment. I would assume that means he's on his second set of reds, Jan, and he's going to have to finish the race on the Bridgestone black tires.
Well, what's been going on, guys, is there's been some jockeying back and forth between Rousport and Newman Haas regarding fuel mileage. When they had to come in on lap number 14, it immediately turned it into a fuel conservation race so you could hit the next window. They had Sebastian saving fuel, then all of a sudden, just before we had that last caution, they gave him the green light, said use more fuel. That's why he streaked away from Wilson. Wilson's still saving fuel, Sebastian is not. It's cat and mouse depending on when the next pit window opens.
Well, if Bourdais could build that kind of a lead, it was 6 seconds earlier while he was conserving fuel, Derek. Now that he's got the bit in his teeth, it'd be hard to imagine anyone stopping him here today.
Well, if they'll stop to lap 14, which they did, and they do 29 laps on a full tank, that means lap 43. That means they're going to be in pretty soon.
For what would be the final stop of the day. The Motorsports Expo, part of the fun of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Back with more on NBC Sports in a moment. Welcome back to the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach in Long Beach, California. I'm Rick Benjamin with Derek Daly on Vikas, Cameron Steele on pit road. Michelle Meisner here with us as well as we bring you coverage of the season opener. Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. This is the Rousport CDW9 car. Justin Wilson in second, qualified up on the front row alongside Sebastian Bourdais. He has been trying to stay with Bourdais, hasn't worked, but Derek, he's on a different fuel strategy, it appears.
It appears that they have just called Bourdais in 3 more laps. We believe Wilson may go 4 laps. That 1 lap on light fuel when Bourdais has been in and has a full tank of fuel for his same lap is the type of advantage Wilson and the Rue Sports team are trying to pull over the top of the Newman-Haas team. Jan?
What they have, Derek, is a real-time readout on their fuel calculation. So what happened with Sebastian Bourdais, they were saving fuel and realized they couldn't quite make it to the lap that they wanted. So instead of just coming in with some extra fuel in the car, that's why they gave him a higher fuel number. Go ahead and use more of it since we can't make it as far as Justin. That's why he's trying to yank out a gap. And Justin is really going to have to stand on it when he's lighter on fuel to make up that kind of gap.
If you're not familiar with Champ Car World Series competition, these drivers have an adjustment in the cockpit. They can change the fuel rate. They can basically add more fuel to the engine, which gives you more power.
That's right, more power, drinks more fuel, makes you stop earlier. So this is a cat and mouse game right now. We're gonna see in about 4 laps whether Wilson, right here in the CDW car, can pull a strategic move and put himself ahead on the road of Sebastian Bourdais. If he can get track position, it's really, really difficult to pass at a place like Long Beach.
33 laps to go. Bourdais, Wilson, Tagliani, and here comes Antonio Pizzonia for Rocket Sports, the Rotax 8. Great run for the Formula One expatriate. He's up to 5th spot. Cameron.
Paul Gianolozzi just told me that he's very happy with the way his driver is driving right now, but he doesn't learn or hasn't learned how to conserve fuel just yet. They're worried this is going to cost them a spot on the track, but they're definitely feeling good about what's happening so far today.
An NKN on the side pod of Pizzonia's car is National Kart News. It is the largest karting magazine in the country. They are here as part of this unveiling, if you like, of the Rotax Kart Challenge, which is basically the starter of the ladder series for Champ Car races in the future. So Gentilozzi has NKN and Rotax Kart Challenge on his car all weekend here. Champ Car basically have the full ladder system here. Atlantics ran yesterday, or this morning. The Rotax karts are here, and of course the Champ Cars.
Pizzonia off of pit road. He was 5th when he stopped. Our leader is Sebastian Bourdais in the McDonald's car number 1. Just posted a new quick lap of the day at 108.28 seconds.
Why? Because they said turn the fuel up, give it as much power as you can because you're on your way to your pits.
Here comes Justin Wilson. He's decided now is the time. The Rue Sport team into action.
But this just blew the whole thing, yeah?
Yes, it did. We were expecting, like you said, Derek, for this to be later. They did not have as much fuel as we thought they did. Therefore, this is really advantage Bourdais. And look how much fuel that took. That took over 12 seconds of fuel. And, of course, Bourdais has yet to pit. That definitely did not go Wilson's way. And, Rick, by the way, you used to be able to change the fuel on board these cars. Now the only way you can change the fuel economy is just with your right foot. No more adjustments allowed inside.
And, Jan, as we see Wilson off of pit road, he's 30 laps from the end. And we were thinking that it was 29 laps, the max on a tank of fuel. Is he going to be able to make it, do you think?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
All right.
He'll have to, well, you won't be able to go as fast as he wants, but he'll be there at the end.
Here's your chance to enter the Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes. Win a trip to the Grand Prix of Houston, plus a set of those Bridgestone Potenza pole position tires or a subscription to Water Week. One grand prize winner gets a new Ford Mustang GT and will join us in Mexico City in November for the series finale. Code word this week is Jimmy. Get the official rules and to enter at our website, champcar.ws. The Champ Car Live Fast sweepstakes is presented by Bridgestone. Race leader Bourdais making his stop.
And that was 11.8 seconds. So not only did he go one more lap than Justin Wilson, he actually even made a faster pit stop. You know, Derek, you were telling me earlier, sometimes in some seasons and some days, they just go all your way.
Meantime, Nelson Philippe in the Bird and a Bear Entertainment HVM car. Claire and Cedric the Entertainer machine behind the wall as well. So it looks as though Nelson Philippe, who has high hopes, is going to end the afternoon behind the wall prematurely. Bourdais, meantime, out on a Sunday drive here, Derek.
And that is a double dagger in the heart for Justin Wilson. We all thought that was the strategic move they were going to pull off. That completely blew that theory. So not only does Bourdais have the speed, he also has better fuel economy. That is a really, really hard combination to beat. Sebastian Bourdais, who drove sprint cars with Junqueira and Paul Newman on Thursday night at Paris Speedway. With his dad. His dad's here. He drove the sprint cars also.
We understand Will Power is being reported as being slow on the racetrack. Remember, he locked up the brakes and just stopped short of the tire barriers earlier. A little further back, we see one of Dale Coyne's Sonny's barbecue cars. That's the 11.
And did you see
Jan Halen up into the front of the field right now because of the stops out of sequence. Bourdais had stopped. Several other cars stopped as well. Let's get on board here with Charles Wolzman. He's being shown in second spot right now, and again, it's because of the fuel windows.
Yeah, so enjoy the moment because you're about to make a pit stop. I made a comment earlier. Speedy Dan exiting the hairpin obviously grabbed first gear and just had a huge amount of wheel spin as he exited the hairpin. But Wolzman, Van Halen is shown in first place, so to speak.
Halen, Schwartzman, Andrew Ranger, and Bourdais fourth after that green flag stop a moment ago.
Oh!
As we watch Dominguez putting pressure on the car of Alex Tagliani.
Wow, so Dominguez, as we suspected with willpower, has a little bit more power in the Indec car. So he now knows, Tagliani knows that Dominguez is a legitimate challenger to try and take that position away from him.
And let's check this. Actually, what happened, Tagliani got by Dominguez here. Let's have another look. Turn 11.
Oh, he hit the wall. Dominguez hit the wall, exiting on the left rear.
And Pizzonia in trouble. He was in the top 5. He too has had problems. This is the end of Shoreline, the front straightaway, down in turn 1. The former Formula 1 driver from Brazil locked up the NKN 8 car, the Rocket Sports machine, locked the brakes. Looks as though he may well have flat spotted and blistered all of those tires. Sold out house for the Champ Car World Series, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Dominguez shown 6th. We'll be back.
Hey, neighbor.
Back in Long Beach as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford. Under caution, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Michelle Beisner's been with us all weekend, checking out the scene here in Long Beach. And Michelle, there are a lot of good places to watch this event from, aren't there?
And with so much to do and see here in Long Beach over the weekend, the question is not what race to watch, but where do you watch it from? So you can either sit high atop the Pike Ferris wheel, or you can check out all the action and stay grounded on trackside at the patio at Bubba Gump's. Or if you're lucky enough to live in one of these high rises, or maybe make friends with the host, thanks Diane, then you can enjoy the race from high above. You've got the best seat in the house.
Great seats everywhere, Michelle, and she's had a lot of fun checking them out. I don't think many of these fans are using their seats, though. Everyone's standing here as normal in the streets of Long Beach. On NBC next Monday, the Celebrity Cooking Showdown, a week-long event. 9 celebs, 3 top chefs, a culinary showdown. Celebrity Cooking Showdown starts next Monday on NBC. Are you one of the celebrity chefs, Derek Daly?
No.
No?
No.
I hear you boil a mean pot of water, I'm told.
No, but I can boil an egg. Okay, this is going to be interesting here because I'm not sure whether these boys at the head of the field, Van Halen, Wolzman, and Ranger, can go much further than Bourdais is behind. But Catherine Legge, despite what she's been through so far, is still in the top 10.
She's moved back to 10th, still showing a lap down in the PKV Gulfstream Optium number 20. Catherine Legge out of Great Britain, great start to her Champ Car World Series career. Had problems in practice and qualifying. Hasn't had many test days in this race car. Out of the Atlantic Series, the Champ Car Atlantic Championship a year ago, she won 3 races, including here at Long Beach in her debut. And it was really a quick rise for her to get to this level.
Yes, it was. And I watched Catherine in the Atlantic races last year, and she was relentless. She didn't win any of them from the front. She had to come from the back, but she is relentless. She is on her line all the time. Seldom did she make a mistake last year.
The Speed Racer 34 in the YJAC entry, Charles Wolzman, who did such a great job in the Atlantic Series last year as well, made his debut in Champ Car at Mexico City in the finale. He will dive to pit road behind Jan Halen, who's driving the Dale Coyne Sonny's Barbecue 11 car. They've been at the front of the pack now. Halen getting tires and fuel. Here comes Wolzman. Andrew Ranger in the MyJack Tide, number 27 out of Montreal. He'll stop for service also. 4 tires and fuel, final stop of the day to pit road.
Charles Wolzman getting his service as well. This is a case where the timing Charles Wolzman, unfortunately, not only just lost second place because they fell in the back, he also lost 2 spots on pit road. And Derek, this is the opposite of that strategy that has worked so well for people like Cristiano D'Amata in the past. And that is, if you're the last, if there's a caution period and you have to come in when the field is packed up, you drop right to the back.
You're dead, exactly. Yeah, nothing you can do about that. In a place like Long Beach, it's the worst thing that can happen because track position is everything in a street circuit.
Still under caution, full course yellow for the 5th time today because of the incident involving the Rocket Sports 8 car of Antonio Pizzonia, who was out of power in turn 1. A look here at Charles Wolzman, winning in Monterrey, Mexico earlier in the season. He had a lot of success in the Champ Car Atlantic Championship, and that earned him this drive in the MyJack Speed Racer JLG car number 34.
Driving with an injury. He has an injured wrist, legacy of an incident testing in Fontana just a couple of weeks ago when he hit one of the curbs, so driving with a heavily strapped wrist. And there is Tag on the reds.
3rd spot for Tagliani as we get set to go. Catherine Legg diving to pit road. Look back at her Champ Car Atlantic Championship victory here 1 year ago. She came from the back. She was also victorious at the airport course in Edmonton. 3 wins on the season. And she is making her final stop of the day in the Optium number 20. Tires and fuel going in that race car. We are 24 laps from home, Jan Mikas.
And she's got some nice red sidewall Bridgestone to do that win. And remember, the last time that she had a spin on the racetrack was when they made a pit stop and did not change the tires. Right. So now you have an opportunity to go out and try and close the gap. You never know. And now you've got a nice set of scrubbed red sidewall Bridgestones. It makes life much, much easier.
So Catherine Legg was 10th when she came to pit road. This under caution. This will help her. She's being scored, though, still 1 lap down. Sebastian Bourdais, Justin Wilson, Alex Tagliani, Mario Dominguez, and Cristiano D'Amato, the 2002 Champ Car champion, who left PKV over the winter and moved to Dale Coyne's Sonny's Barbecue team. D'Amato will restart 5th, and he is on a different fuel strategy from the rest of the front runners now, with 23 laps to go in the streets of Long Beach. Season opener as Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. And putting the world in Champ Car World Series, our broadcast today, 170 countries, more than 170 countries around the world, enjoying the season opener for the Champ Car World Series. Field getting the indication green will reappear this time by, and it looked as though that one car was perhaps having a little difficulty there. That is Bourdais. Pizzonia has refired. He's back on the racetrack.
And he's ahead of Wilson, so Pizzonia, he could wave Justin Wilson by, knowing that he's already got the lap down to give Wilson a chance to run with Bourdais. Mind you, even if he gets that chance, it's not going to make much difference anyway.
As we prepare for a restart, let's show you what happened on the initial drop of the green today. Several contenders taken out in turn 1 of lap 1. Paul Tracy, AJ Allmendinger, Oriol Servia there, and Bruno Junqueira returning to the series in the 2 car for Newman Haas Racing after his injuries at Indy a year ago.
And Dominguez looked like he caused most of that, and he escaped most of that. Now Pizzonia, I thought he might move aside and let Justin Wilson by. He didn't do that. Dominguez, see him warming up the tires. They're getting on the, making some smoke, locking up that front wheel. D'Amato is right there in 5th place in Dale Coyne's car.
Pizzonia being shown 5th despite that incident. Well, let me check that. Pizzonia now being shown in 11th. The scoring updates. 1 lap down. On board, Justin Wilson to the restart. He's got to get by that 8 car before Bourdais takes off.
He's got to get right up under his rear wing and get down on the inside in the brake zone. He's catching him. He's catching him fast. Can he get down? Oh, a big lunge. Turn 1 is much wider and faster.
Tag is next in line, and he gets through as well.
I'm sure Pizzonia made that a little bit easier. That was the right thing to do also. But don't hold Dominguez up now. Dominguez and Tag are in a fight.
Pizzonia, that NKN Rotax car out of the Rocket Sports stables, the number 8, in front of the Forsyth Index machine of Dominguez. Bourdais is the leader. Wilson is 2nd. Here comes the car of Dominguez.
Okay, Pizzonia moves over. He moves over. That's good. There goes D'Amato. Also, there goes Ranger.
Andrew Ranger on the button in that MyJack car. Now remember, these cars have an extra 50 horsepower on tap. It's called Ford Cosworth Power to Pass time.
Very good move there by Pizzonia. The problem is he's got to be careful he doesn't back off too much. Here's the pass again. Down the inside he pushes. Pizzonia backs off. Backs up. Then he sees Tag, so he doesn't turn into the apex, which definitely would have caused another crash.
A lot of these drivers using their power to pass. Justin Wilson downshifting, wasn't using it there, I'm sure. This is a look back a moment ago from Wilson's onboard view. Wilson's 2nd. He's got 26 seconds of power to pass time remaining So he's used 34 seconds. Bourdais, though, still with 40 seconds of Ford Cosworth power to pass time in the bank. Alex Tagliani with the same. Mario Dominguez just 37 seconds remaining. And you know who hasn't used any of his Cosworth power to pass time? How about Cristiano Damata in 5th position? He has not been on the button at all to this point.
And this is for position here. This is Will Power and Ranger.
This is for 6th. All these cars on the lead lap now, coming up on 20 to go.
Van Halen's right behind him, and 8. Zwolsman is there. Catherine Legge still in the top 10. So this, oh, look at this power sideways.
Second time he's locked up the brakes and gone offline here today. Will Power in 7th. Now Catherine Legge has unlapped herself, Derek. She's on the lead lap in 10th position. So it's been a great run for the young driver out of England. Ranger and Power battling for 6th here, less than a second apart.
I saw more smoke from somebody there, but Will Power needs to just make sure he can close this thing out here. He's had a great afternoon. Couple of mistakes have cost him dearly, but in trying to pass Ranger, you just need to be careful.
Halen and Zwolsman, this is for 8th position. There's Pizzonia in 11th. Cameron.
Well, Paul, we saw you right there on the restart throw your headset. Were you upset about what happened there with Pizzonia?
Well, we're on the way to the restart, and suddenly the officials decide we have to tell our driver he's got to pull over for everybody. Here's a competitive situation. Had he been able to go back by Bourdais, he would have gotten on the lead lap. I guess we're not supposed to race. That upsets me.
Definitely a very frustrated Paul Gentilozzi.
So Paul thinks Pizzonia could have cut and passed Sebastian Bourdais?
He's a racer. He's competitive.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Here's Pizzonia, the NKN 8 car. He is being shown in 11th, a lap down right now. Now we're being told that Will Power is out of power and in a runoff area. So his day may be done. Back in a moment with more of the Champ Car World Series, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Now, let's join Al Troutwig with an ADT Security NBC Sports update. The last 2 seasons, Derek Daly laying a whipping on the field here. Justin Wilson in the CDW car 2nd, but 2¼ seconds back. Alex Tagliani rides 3rd. He's about 4.8 seconds behind. We thought Mario Dominguez was going to take a run-a-tag for 3rd earlier in the Forsyth Index machine, but Mario just has not been able to get close enough to make a move. As we have a look at Bourdais now, closing in on Will Power in car number 5, who is up to 10th. Catherine Legge, we've shown you her machine several times. She has moved to 9th as we see Speedy Dan Clark out of Great Britain, a rookie in the Cedric the Entertainer HVM racing car. This is the 14. The Burden to Bear Entertainment car from Maldenhead in Berkshire. Ran in the F3 Championship in Great Britain, very successful a year ago at age 22. He's had a couple of incidents, lost the rear wing off that car earlier, and just had a problem with his right rear tire, made almost a full lap on the rim, tore some of the bodywork off. But the CTE HVM team was able to get that car put back together and get Clark out there where he runs 12th. Here's a look back at what happened as the tire peeled off the rim.
And the bodywork is okay, but the problem is he went way too fast on the way back to the pits. Now the tire begins to come apart, begins to beat the body. The tire can completely apart, beat the 2 flugelhorns, which is the little downforce pieces right in front of the rear wings. Our rear wheels, they came off.
Lady Catherine Legge in 9th position, Jan Beekes, when she spun earlier. I guess that was no fault of the tires, certainly.
No, when you saw what looked to appear to be blisters, let's take a look at the actual tire that came off the car. This is what's known as pickup. So when you spin on the racetrack, you're going someplace where no one's been driving. You get all that rubber that's deposited. And so if you saw it across the tire, Bridgestone engineers, as well as looking at it in person, wasn't blisters, turned out to be just some pickup after a spin.
Yeah, and I actually don't remember the last time that we saw a Bridgestone tire blister, which is why I thought it was unusual at that particular time. Yeah, I just don't remember the last time we saw a blister.
Riding with Catherine Legge, who has been doggedly determined here today. She's now being shown a lap down, 41 seconds behind Sebastian Bourdais. Let's see what happens. No, she'll put lap 62 on the board. So she is remaining on the lead lap, and she is 9th. She's gotten by Power.
Notice the way she crosses her hands over and always takes her right hand off the bottom of the wheel, holds on with her left hand as Cristiano Damata in Dale Coyne's car, having a super run here also.
Top 5 for the 2002 Series champion. Moving to Dale Coyne's Sonny's Pit Barbecue team. They're on a different fuel strategy, Cameron Steele, and a great job for Damata.
Well, Dale Coyne, you got to be excited with what Cristiano is bringing you right now. Is the strategy playing to you?
He's just running steady. He's running strong and steady with a lot of experience, so he's 5th right now. So he's doing what we wanted him to do.
How much experience is he giving to the rookie here? Have they been working together? I saw him on the pit road wall here together earlier today.
Cristiano's a great guy, so he's a really good teammate. And Jan's doing great. He's 7th. He's leading all the rookies, and Cristiano 5th. And we'll see what happens between now and the end. We're good to the end, but it's a lot of fun. We thought it would be like this.
We'll see how it airs out.
All right, thank you.
Well, the big surprise, I think, as much as it was a surprise that D'Amato went to Dale Coyne's team, Halen joined the team just a few days ago. He was just nominated last week.
That's right, late entry. And you might ask, a Formula One driver for 2 years, a former champion, moves to a team that has never won a race. You ask Cristiano, he'll say, I love Champ Car racing so much, I don't want to sit out a year. So I'm happy to go and work with Dale Coyne and see how good we can become together.
Sebastian Bourdais in the McDonald's #1, continuing to lead here at Long Beach from the pole. Has not been passed on the racetrack. 64 laps complete. Now this will be a timed event. We've got about 11 minutes to go. Should be enough for about 9 laps, give or take, perhaps 8 laps. And Bourdais with inside 10 remaining here, building his lead. 4.3 seconds the margin over Justin Wilson in the CDW #9. Beautiful day for racing. Huge crowd on hand on the streets of Long Beach. Tagliani, Dominguez, and D'Amato, the rest of the top 5. Back with more after this word from our local NBC stations.
Everyone talks.
Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series, powered by Ford, on NBC Sports, coverage of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. I'm Rick Benjamin with Derek Daly. Cosworth Power to Pass time remaining top of your screen. Sebastian Bourdais continues to lay down excellent laps, around a 108.2 last time. Handful of laps to go here. This will be a timed event. Bourdais' lead over Justin Wilson, 6.7 seconds. Behind all this action, Derek Daly, Charles Wolfsman brushed the wall a moment ago, we're told. Catherine Legge has moved to 8th in her Champ Car debut after starting in the last row here this afternoon. Having a look at Lady Catherine at work in the Optium car #20. Up onto the front straightaway.
I think she'd be fairly pleased with this race because of the incidents that she's managed to escape also. But to give you an idea how costly small mistakes are, Will Power's fastest lap is a 1:09.8. His teammate Tagliani, his fastest lap is a 1:09.6, only a couple of tenths. Yet Will Power is a lap behind because of very small mistakes that are made that are so costly on a street circuit like this. Pizzonia slices down the inside of Zwolsman.
Zwolsman brushed the wall, we heard just a moment ago, and he is off the pace. He's dropping through the field. Pizzonia has gotten by him. He and Zwolsman now a lap down. So move Pizzonia to 10th in his Champ Car debut. For Rocket Sports and National Kart News.
Affectionately known in Formula One as Jungle Boy. I'm not sure.
I won't go there.
Apparently he lives near the jungle.
A couple of things I want to point out before we get to the checkered flag today. Champ Car welcoming America's men and women in uniform around the globe. Watching today's race on AFN, the American Forces Network. We thank all of America's servicemen and women for all that they do for us. We hope you're enjoying our telecast here today. And the Champ Car family also wants to let John and Terry Mull, we're thinking of you, both of you are in our thoughts. John Mull, a 20-year member of the safety team. And Terry's been battling cancer for some time now, and a lot of folks have asked us about the Mulls this weekend. We just wish you both very, very well. There's Catherine Legge through turn 1.
Did you see her
fighting
even in the brake zone? Yeah, she is driving the wheels off this thing still. She has a bit of a fight on her hands.
They saved the set of the Bridgestone Reds for her. Now here's the MyJack team. Zwolsman brushed the wall, Jan.
Yes, he has been on pit road. They checked it, said, go take a lap and see what it feels like. And unfortunately for Charles Zwolsman, his second run in a Champ Car, he's not going to make it to the checkered flag. That brush of the wall you talked about did some terminal damage.
So Zwolsman steps out of the MyJack 34 car, but we will see them back in Houston. The Champ Car World Series Grand Prix of Houston coming up second weekend of May around Reliance Stadium. Sebastian Bourdais leads Wilson and Tagliani. Back with more at Long Beach. Back on the streets of Long Beach, team owner Paul Newman, Crew Sport team owner Carl Russo. Having a few words a few moments ago. Their two drivers running 1-2. But Sebastian Bourdais with a 12.5-second lead now over Justin Wilson in the CDW9 car. Leader on the front straightaway. We've got about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in what will be a timed event. So we should see 2 more laps out of the leader, Bourdais, who just put lap 72 on the board. Wilson 12.3 seconds back last time by. Tagliani, Dominguez, and Cristiano D'Amata, the rest of the top 5.
Come May 6th, Sebastian will be a married man.
Yes, he
just
will.
got engaged to the lovely Claire. The funny moon will be in Houston at the Champ Car race.
What better?
Yeah,
A venue for a honeymoon. On
You
board
got
the
it.
CDW9 of Justin Wilson. Started on the outside pole. Appears to be on his way to a runner-up finish to open the 2006 Champ Car World Series season. Title fight could well be between these two drivers. High expectations certainly for the Forsyth Index team. Paul Tracy and Mario Dominguez. PT taken out in turn 1 in that huge wreck that began the day.
Most teams will be very pleased to finish second. For some reason, I don't believe Roo Sports are going to be happy with their day. They have set the bar so high. As Jeremy Dale, the team president, said after qualifying, the boys are somewhat disappointed that they put a car on the front row and the second row. So they have set the bar very high. That was Kenny Seawick on the radio to Sebastian Bourdais.
White flag to Bourdais. Last lap of the race here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach for 2006. 32nd renewal of this great festival of speed. Justin Wilson on his way to second. I'm sure that Roo Sport won't be satisfied also because A.J. Allmendinger, the bright young American hope, his day didn't even last a full lap. He was behind the wall after the first turn incident today. But Bourdais leading Wilson by 13.5 seconds. He'll open up the season with a victory again for the second straight year at Long Beach. Now, let's point out that Catherine Legg is 8th, and if she can bring that car home 8th, that would be the highest finish ever by a woman driver in Champ Car World Series history.
Here's Catherine here.
From 17th on the grid today, attrition has helped. A spin certainly set her back, but the team has done a great job. The Optium team for Catherine Legg, and she is on her way perhaps to an 8th today, but Sebastian Bourdais leads virtually flag to flag. Checkered flag in the air. Bourdais opens the season with a win for the McDonald's team.
Good stop today, guys. The way we wanted to start this season out.
That was what I would call a perfectly run race, and Catherine Legg does a stellar job to also finish well inside the top 10. In fact, she's going to finish P8.
Tagliani comes home 3rd, Dominguez is 4th, and Cristiano D'Amata bags a top 5 in his debut for Dale Coyne's Sonny's Barbecue team. Sebastian Bourdais wins at Long Beach. We'll talk to the winner when we come back. Our coverage of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach is brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, and by Bridgestone Tires, passion for excellence. Back live in the streets of Long Beach, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, 32nd running for the second straight year, goes to Sebastian Bourdais. Now races out of St. Petersburg, Florida. The native of Le Mans, France, opens up the 06 season with a dominant win, Derek, virtually flag to flag.
And I'm glad he did the second round of donuts by Nick Reaney's friends, because the first round of donuts were pretty ugly down at the end of the straight.
Justin Wilson runs in second. Alex Tagliani comes home 3rd in front of Mario Dominguez. Cristiano D'Amata, that's a great debut for the Dale Coyne team, 5th spot.
They will be very happy, and here's some of the people here who will regret some of the things that happened, particularly that first stop incident that took out 3 of the star names, Allmendinger, Tracy, and Servia. Here is the perfect day right here, this team.
In victory lane for the first time in 2006, Sebastian Bourdais pulls off the steering wheel. Billy Camphausen taking off the head restraint. And there is Justin Wilson unbuckling the helmet. A runner-up finish for Justin Wilson in the CDW Roo Sport car number 9. As Bourdais, hard work in the streets here, pretty warm today. For Paul Tracy and Mario Dominguez, well, disappointment. Catherine Legg, a great run. A reminder, upcoming race 2 of Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford. Saturday, May 13th, the Grand Prix of Houston. Next, except on the West Coast, your local news. Tonight on NBC, beginning at 7, 6 Central, all new episodes of Dateline, West Wing, Law & Order Criminal Intent, Crossing Jordan. For Derek Daly, on Beacus, Cameron Steele, and Michelle Beisner, I'm Rick Benjamin, congratulating our winner, Sebastian Bourdais. You've been watching Bridgestone presents the Champ Car World Series powered by Ford, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach on NBC.
Twin Spires.